Hello, I'm 23 years of age. I completed the university last year where I studied business administration and I'm currently doing my mandatory national service. I'm the first person in my family to go to the university, which didn't come easily. My parents sacrificed so much just to see me through school. One of my greatest fears has always been to complete school and become an unemployed graduate. While in school, I spent my vacations doing internships at a firm with the intention of securing a job there after school. That was where my problems began. I was always one of the first people to arrive in the office, and I learned quickly on the job. I was volunteering for everything and doing any and all kind of works available to prove my worth. This even got some of my colleagues to tease me, calling me a people pleaser. Our boss noticed me early on because I had worked there for a while and I was often being sent to him in his office. He's a man in his late 40s or early 50s, and he would always compliment me and tell me I was looking very beautiful. I hoped that he would notice my consistency and hard work and compliment that, but it always was something about my appearance. I was always polite and professional, with him nonetheless. Eventually, I gathered the courage and went to him directly and told him I was interested in working in the company after school. I gave him a copy of my CV and transcript, and he was impressed. I had done a lot of volunteering jobs and part-time jobs even when I was in school. He seemed more impressed by that. He gave me hope, but then he also said that the HR department had stacks of CVs from people who were even more qualified than I was, and that even though my resume was impressive, I would not be able to beat the competition. Then, to my utter shock, he told me bluntly that he would retain me if I will allow him to sleep with me. He was blunt, and he said it with a grin. I thought he was joking at first, but it became obvious that he wasn't. I immediately left the office when he said this, and I went to the washroom to ponder over what he had just said. I decided I was never going to do that. Even though I had decided not to sleep with him for the job, I couldn't sleep in the days that followed. I looked at the state of my family and how my parents had struggled to put me through school. My younger brother is in junior high school and is always being sacked for school fees, and my parents keep praying that I get a job after national service so I can start offering a little support. You may judge me for this, but I began to weigh my options. I wasn't a virgin anyway, so it wasn't like I was keeping myself for marriage. I was also not dating at the time. In fact, when you think about it, what he was offering me is a much better bargain than regular relationships where you could be used and dumped and have nothing to show for it. I was nervous, but I made my way to his office one day and asked him if there was any guarantee of his promise. He went on his computer and showed me my job description and salary. It seemed like he was already expecting me to accept the offer. The salary I was to be paid was really generous for my position, and as soon as I saw it, my mind was made up. I won't bore your listeners with all the details, but over the weekend, we met in town and he took me to his apartment and we were intimate with each other. We spent the entirety of Saturday together, after which he gave me transportation for my journey back home. The following Monday, the job was mine. I was given a new desk and made to sign forms. I had to go through a short interview as a formality, but the other participants were told they did not qualify. Personally, I do not think my boss took advantage of me. Our arrangement was consensual and I did enjoy myself. I honestly wish that the system was better and no one had to go through something like this. But this is the world we live in. Another friend of mine shared a similar experience she went through at her workplace. Arrangements like this are more common than many people think. National service is not yet over, but I already have a well-paid job. My parents are proud of me, and that is all that matters to me. As for my boss, I plan to keep giving him what he wants and save as much money as I can, milk him, and then leave the workplace when I am financially stable. It doesn't look like he wants anything long-term or permanent with me, and the feeling is mutual. I see it as a win-win situation. My body has given me what a first-class degree could not. Life is not always black and white. There are a lot of gray areas. This is my confession.